Tropical Storms
with Oyon Banerjee
and Johnny Grint. The order we're going to tell you about tropical storms is that first of all we will talk about how they happen and where they come from and what they're called in these different places.
And secondly, we're going to talk about the stages of the hurricane, how they come from just a bit of moist, warm air meeting some cold air to a devastating storm, which can give very hard conditions for some people who are affected. These are the tracks for the tropical storms around the world over the past 20 years. As you can see, they are spread over all around the world. In some places they have different names, as Johnny will explain.
In America and around Europe and South America, they call them hurricanes. Europe and South America don't get many hurricanes, as they would call them, yet they still call them that.
Around the East China Sea and on the east coast of China, they call them typhoons. As you can see, there are many typhoons.
In Australia and the west of Asia, they call them cyclones.
There are two main factors to why hurricanes form and why they form in these areas. The first factor is the spin of the earth. As you can tell, most of these hurricane tracks or tropical storm tracks go in a distinctive manner. They go around. Why is that, I hear you asking? It is because of the spin of the earth. The earth spins this way, and while it spins around, the tropical storms are also affected. That's why they go in this up motion, because the earth is spinning. In the south, it's the other way, because they're in the southern hemisphere. But as you can see, they're not on the equator, they're just above it. Why is that? Well, that is because Johnny will explain.
For hurricanes to happen, they need two things: the right amount of spin and warm air. The equator has the warm air coming from the sea, but not the right amount of spin. Whereas, just north and south of the equator have the perfect conditions for hurricanes to form.
That's right. They have the right amount of spin, as well as having warm water for the right temperature of air, as Johnny mentioned earlier. This is the cross-section of the hurricane. Here you can see a distinctive shape. In the centre is the eye, which is surprisingly the calmest part of a hurricane, as there is not that much spin. On the outside, there's very stormy, as Johnny will explain.
On the inside, as Owen said, there's not much spin in the eye because all of the outside are spinning around the eye, which means that it'll be faster on the outside because of the speed it needs to go around, whereas on the inside it doesn't need to spin at all.
As you can see, these are convection currents that spin around the eye. On the top, there is cold, dense air, and on the bottom and in the middle, there is warm, moist air. This causes very low pressure in the hurricane, which gives the very stormy, rainy conditions.
The trade winds that come from opposite direction start to make the tropical storm spin.
More hot air from the sea and more cold air from the higher altitude is sucked in, and the trade winds make it spin faster and faster. The hurricane starts to grow in size. The rising warm air causes the pressure to decrease at higher altitudes.
Air rises faster and faster to fill this low pressure, in turn drawing more warm air off the sea and sucking cooler, drier air downwards.
The tropical storm is now growing to a considerably large size. As it moves towards land, picks up more warm, moist air. Wind speeds start to increase as more air is sucked into the low pressure center. It can take hours or several days for a depression to grow into a fully formed hurricane.
When the tropical storms hit the land, it often has devastating effects. You can measure how quickly the storms are going with the Saffir-Simpson scale.
This is the Saffir-Simpson scale. It is characterized 1 to 5. The highest, being 5, is 155 miles per hour upwards. These are the most devastating types of hurricane. At category 1, it's 74 to 95 miles per hour. This can be disturbing, but wouldn't cause that much damage.
Category 2 is 96 to 110 miles per hour. This would do a bit more serious damage than 1, but nowhere near as much as 5.
Category 3 is 111 to 130 miles per hour. This will cause damage, not very significantly, but enough to notice and make some costs to families who have been affected.
Category 4 has 131 to 154 miles per hour in the tropical storms. This would do a lot of damage to buildings and cars would go everywhere. There would also be quite a lot of water inland if you were on the coast. Category 5, as Oyon said earlier, would have some devastating effects and nearly everything would be destroyed.
These are the effects of the tropical storms.
As you can see, everything in the tropical storm's way just gets demolished.
This whole building and beach has just completely vanished.
And as you can see here, this boat has been destroyed beyond repair.
It used to be actually an okay looking boat, so something nice, but here it's like something from Pirates of the Caribbean.
In all of these pictures, there will have to be category 5 hurricanes or tropical storms because 1 won't do as much damage as this has.
This whole pier has just been completely destroyed. The sea has come inland and completely destroyed the people's homes.
And this church has been destroyed. As you can see, the tower has gone. You can't even see it in this picture. And there are just a few bits at the bottom where you can see.
Churches are supposed to be part of God. I believe this picture shows that not even God can stop the absolute devastation of a tropical storm. Thank you for watching
Our presentation on tropical storms.
We hope you found it very interesting.
As we said at the beginning, this was by
Oyon Banerjee.
and John Grint.
And I hope you have a very happy day.
Thank you.
Thank you.